What happens when a simple act of cruelty turns into a life-changing lesson for a racist cop? You won't believe the twist in this jaw-dropping story. Imagine this: a police officer, fueled by bias, pours water on a young black girl in a fit of rage. It seems like just another cruel moment in a world where injustice is all too common. But little does he know, the girl he's targeting isn't just anyone, she's a police chief in disguise. As the cop stands there, smug and confident in his actions, he has no idea that this harmless-looking girl is about to change everything for him. Her identity, hidden in plain sight, could expose him in ways he never expected. What unfolds next is a powerful reminder that things are not always what they seem, and that actions have consequences, especially when you're dealing with someone who has the power to make a real difference. But when the truth finally comes to light, the cop's whole world is flipped upside down. What will he do now? How will he face the consequences of his actions? This is one story you won't want to miss. Stick around as we dive into the shocking aftermath and uncover what happens when justice meets ignorance. As the young girl walks through the park, she's just trying to enjoy a quiet afternoon. She's not looking for trouble, but trouble seems to have found her. The officer, known for his short temper and unchecked prejudice, had been patrolling the area for hours. His eyes narrow when he spots the girl, an easy target for someone who believes they're above the law. He thinks he's just going to intimidate her, show her who's in control. What he doesn't realize is that this isn't just a random encounter. The girl, though young in appearance, carries a strength that comes from years of experience in law enforcement. She's worked tirelessly to climb the ranks, facing the challenges of being both a woman and a person of color in a world that too often wants to silence her voice. Today, though, she's in disguise, hoping to observe things as they are, no filters, no expectations. But what she encounters instead is a harsh reminder of the deep-seated racism that still exists in society, even among those sworn to protect and serve. As the water splashes over her, the anger inside her grows, not just for herself, but for every person who's ever faced the same kind of treatment. She stands still, her mind racing. What's the right move? Should she reveal who she really is now, or wait for the perfect moment? One thing is clear: this officer will regret crossing paths with her, but not just yet. The game has only just begun. The officer stands there, a smug smile spreading across his face, as if the power he feels in that moment will last forever. He watches as the water drips down the girl's face, expecting fear, humiliation, maybe even a tear or two. But there's nothing, no response. For a second, it throws him off. Her stillness unsettles him. He's used to people cowering in fear, to people who let his uniform define their worth. But not her. She just stands, eyes locked on him, unflinching. Inside, she's seething, but outwardly, she remains calm. This is her test. If she reveals herself now, the officer's pride will be wounded, but it will only feed his narrative that people like her don't belong in the ranks of power. If she waits, though, if she plays it cool, she can make him question everything: his beliefs, his actions, maybe even his career. The officer, still not realizing who he's dealing with, takes a step closer. He thinks he's won, but deep down, his gut twists. Something's off. He doesn't know it yet, but the tables are about to turn in ways he can't even imagine. And it's not just about the girl anymore. It's about something bigger, something much more dangerous for him. Meanwhile, back at the precinct, whispers begin. No one knows where the chief is. Her absence has raised questions, but no one dares to speak too loudly. There's a sense of unease in the air. Those who are close to her feel it, sensing something is wrong, but they can't pinpoint what. And then there's a young rookie officer, a friend of the girl's, who's been following her case from the sidelines. He knows she's been working undercover on a secret mission to root out corruption within the department, but what he doesn't know is that today, it's more than just corruption. This is about power, race, and the fight for justice. And soon the rookie will be pulled into the chaos, whether he's ready or not. Back in the park, the officer's unease grows. He notices the calmness in her eyes, the way she's studying him like she's reading a book. It's the look of someone who's seen it all and somehow come out stronger. He steps back, unsure of his next move, but he's not going to back down. Not yet. The tension thickens, and the silence becomes deafening. Neither of them speaks, but both are calculating their next steps in a high-stakes game neither of them can afford to lose. The officer's eyes flicker, his confidence slipping as the minutes drag on. The girl stands before him, unshaken. The water that had once dripped down her face now seems to hang in the air between them like a silent reminder of his rash, thoughtless actions. He shifts uncomfortably on his feet, his hand twitching by his side. The smugness he once carried is fading, replaced by doubt. What did he just do? The thought lingers at the back of his mind, but he's too proud to admit it. Instead, he tries to recover, trying to regain the upper hand. His voice cracks slightly when he speaks. "What's your problem, girl? You think you're better than me?" She doesn't flinch, doesn't break eye contact. The way she stands, so calm, so composed, shakes him more than he cares to admit. There's something about her presence, something in the air, that makes him feel small. He tries to shake it off, but the feeling lingers. Around the corner, the rookie officer watches from a distance. He doesn't know the girl's identity, not yet, but something tells him something's wrong. He's heard stories, rumors about the chief's undercover work, the corruption she's been trying to expose. But standing there, watching the officer confront this young girl, he starts to piece things together. The unease gnaws at him. He's too far away to step in, but he feels it. Something's about to break. The tension between the officer and the girl becomes unbearable. The officer takes a step forward, trying to reassert control, but his feet feel heavy, like he's sinking. His breath is shallow, a pit in his stomach growing wider. This isn't just about power anymore, it's about something bigger, something he can't control. The girl's silence seems to pierce the air. The officer's words bounce off her, useless, as if they're being swallowed by the moment. Her gaze doesn't waver. She knows this is the point of no return. If she stays hidden, the officer might escape without consequence. If she reveals herself, there's no turning back. His fate will be sealed, but so will hers. It's the kind of choice that forces a person to decide what they believe in, what they stand for, and in this moment, both of them are about to face the reality of their choices. Just as the tension reaches its peak, the officer moves as if to grab her arm, a desperate move to reclaim some control. But in the split second that follows, everything changes. The sound of sirens wails in the distance, cutting through the thick air. The rookie has called for backup, knowing something's gone horribly wrong. The officer freezes, eyes wide, but it's too late. The crowd is starting to gather. The story is unfolding, and there's no escaping the consequences. The girl, her hand still at her side, finally speaks, her voice steady but filled with authority. "You don't know who I am, do you?" Her words cut through the tension like a knife, sending a chill down the officer's spine. His grit on his own power falters. The moment has arrived. The officer stands there, frozen, as her words hang in the air. His mind races, trying to process what she's just said. "You don't know who I am, do you?" Her tone isn't just calm, it's measured, filled with the quiet power of someone who's in control. The sirens grow louder, drawing closer, but the officer's attention is locked onto her. The silence between them is suffocating, a pressure that feels too intense to bear. For a split second, he wonders if he should walk away, pretend none of this ever happened. But the crowd is gathering around them now, eyes fixed on the scene unfolding in the park. They're watching, waiting for something to break. The officer's pulse quickens, but it's not fear he feels. It's panic, the kind of panic that comes from realizing he's lost control over something he thought was in his hands. His chest tightens, and for the first time, he isn't sure what's going to happen next. Then, just as the tension seems ready to snap, another sound cuts through the air, a sharp crack of static. A voice over a loudspeaker, distant but unmistakable. "This is Chief Simmons. You are surrounded. Don't move." The officer's blood runs cold. The voice is familiar, but it doesn't register immediately. Then it hits him. Chief Simmons, that's impossible. He turns, heart pounding, his gaze scanning the crowd. But there's no sign of anyone in a uniform, no one making a move to step forward. It doesn't make sense. The rookie officer, watching from a distance, begins to connect the dots. The voice, the timing, the moment. It clicks. The girl, the one he's seen earlier in the park, she wasn't just any girl. She was undercover, right under his nose. But what really stuns him is the realization that the Chief Simmons he's heard about, the one who's been quietly rooting out corruption within the department, was standing right there in front of him this whole time. The officer's world spins, his eyes dart back to the girl. The realization hits him like a punch to the gut. She isn't just a bystander. She's been playing him this whole time, and now he's the one who's been exposed. But what makes the moment even more chilling is the knowledge that he's not the only one in danger now. As the rookie's hand hovers over his radio, ready to call for help, he feels the weight of the situation settle heavily on his shoulders. Just then, the officer stumbles backward, his mind reeling. "You're the chief," he whispers, barely able to believe the words coming out of his mouth. But his voice cracks, and in that crack lies his vulnerability, the first crack in his armor. Before the girl can respond, a new sound cuts through the air, the unmistakable roar of a car engine, fast and furious, heading straight for them. The crowd starts to murmur, panic rising. Something's coming, and it's coming for them all. The officer looks around, desperation flashing in his eyes. What's going on? Who else is involved? How deep does this go? The stakes have risen, and now everything is on the line. The true depth of corruption within the department, the secret forces at play, and the real identity of the girl are all about to come to light, and none of them are prepared for what happens next. The officer's heart pounds in his chest as the roar of the approaching car grows louder. It's not just any car, he recognizes a sound. It's the department's unmarked vehicle, but it's too late to stop it now. The car screeches to a halt right in front of them, throwing up dust and debris. The door slams open, and two uniformed officers step out, their faces grim. Their eyes quickly scan the situation, landing on the girl who's still standing there, unbothered by the chaos unfolding around her. She hasn't moved, hasn't spoken, but her presence is undeniable. There's no hiding now. As the new officers approach, one of them hesitates, his eyes narrowing as he looks from her to the officer who's been harassing her. Without a word, the officer looks at his feet, guilt and fear seeping into his bones. "What's going on here?" One of the officers demands, but he's speaking to the officer, not the girl. The tension hangs thick in the air, everyone waiting for someone to break the silence. Finally, the officer who started everything stumbles over his words.